Masechta bava basra daf yud amud aleph. We're starting from Testament Beis, the first wide line. Yesterday we learned that Rabbi Yitzchak said, whoever gives a brutal tzedakah, he will merit or have the schar that it will be benched with 6 brachas. And one who comforts Ani with words, he will be mizbarach b'yud al brachas with 11 brachas. We're up to the first wide line on Testament Beis. It says, one who comforts Ani, he will be blessed with 11 brachas. Never, like it says in the pasuk, it says, and if you draw from your nefesh, meaning bring up words of comfort to the hungry, the nefesh san nanet hasbiyah, and satisfy the afflicted, meaning the afflicted soul, the afflicted nefesh, the ani, you'll satisfy him. You'll be zeicher to all these 11 brachas, which are that your light will shine through the darkness. And then you have, this is the second bracha of and your deep darkness will be like the noonday. And the Eibishter will guard you continuously. The fourth bracha is and satisfy your soul in drought. And then and make your bones strong, or strengthen your bones. And you shall be like a watered garden. And the seventh bracha, and like a spring of water, that the water doesn't stop. And through the old rooms will be rebuilt. And the ninth bracha is and you will raise up the foundation of many generations. And the 10th bracha is and you should be called the repairer of parrots of those that breach, and the restorer of the paths to live in. Following live it, and Rabbi Yitzchak said another inyan benegeya to tzedakah. What is this? What is the meaning of roidev tzedakah b'chesed? One who pursues the opportunity of the mitzvah of tzedakah, yimtzeh chayim, he will find life. I'm sorry, yimtzeh chayim will find life, and tzedakah, and charity, and v'chavod and glory. Because he pursues after the mitzvah of tzedakah, he should become an ani and have people and his highways that people will give him tzedakah. Rather, it means to say, one who pursues after the mitzvah of tzedakah, they will make him have a lot of money that he himself will be able to give it tzedakah. And he will use the money that the Eibishter gives him for tzedakah. That's the reward. Rav Yitzchak says, that the Eibishter makes that with the money that he will give it to the right people, to the people who are fit for tzedakah, who are real needy people. In order to receive the reward for giving tzedakah. From what situation is Rav Nachman's Pirush coming to exclude? He's coming to exclude the Darash of Rabbah. The Darash Rabbah had dashin b'negeya to the Navi Yirmiyah. The Navi Yirmiyah had the people of Anasis wanted to kill him. So what happened over there was they wanted to kill him. So they wanted to kill him, so he cursed them that they should stumble before you, and you should deal with them at the time of your anger. Deal with them at the time of your anger. Meaning so that the punishment would be very severe for these people that try to kill him. Sagt die Gemara, am Yimel of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Olam, I'm sorry, Rebbeinu Shel Olam, Afilu B'Shosha Kevnes Yitzam, Eibishter, please, even in a time when the Yetzirah is subdued, and they overpower it, and they want to do tzedakah, righteous things before you. Make them stumble to give it to people that are not defeated, for not true aniyim. So in order that they shouldn't receive schafrei. You want to mention another reward for giving tzedakah. Rabbi Shimon Levi Yama. Rabbi Shimon Levi said, "Kol haroga lasis tzedakah." Whoever is accustomed to giving tzedakah, to doing the acts of tzedakah, zeicha haviyolay banim balei chachma. He will merit to have sons that have wisdom, balei oisha, wealthy sons, and balei agoda, and knowledgeable sons of agoda. The Gemara. Balei Chachma, what do we find Balei Chachma? Because it says in the Pasuk, Reidev Tzedakah V'Chesed Yimtzeh Chaim, that one who will be Reidev, pursue Tzedakah and kindness, will find life. And that's Chaim means Chachma. Because on Chachma it says, Ki Moitzei Matzeh Chaim. Balei Yosha, where do we find that he'll be married to Balei Yosha? It says somebody who's reid of tzedakah, he will find that the Eibushter will give him money that he should be able to give tzedakah, like we just said. That they will be knowledgeable in Haggadah. It says reid of tzedakah v'chesed yimtza b'chavit. It says, and they will. It's written honor. Honor. They will be honored because those that say Haggadah, they inspire much more people than people who are saying deep pulling. And because they're saying Haggadah and they attract so many people, that's how it's connected to Kavod. Ksiv hachal the Kavod. In the pasuk that says here, it says v'chavit. Ksiv hasam, and it's written Minegei chachal satira Kavod chachamim chalu, that the wise man shall inherit Kavod. So the second pasuk teaches us that the kavod promised to the sons who of the people that who pursue the mitzvah of tzedakah will have children of Balei Haggadah. Tanya, we learned in the Brayso. Rabbi would say, "Yesh le'lu ba'adim la'ashivcha v'leim alecham." There are those that is showing that could dissuade you from giving tzedakah and leimelach, meaning lashivcha, to answer you, leimelach, to tell you, if the Eibushter loves the aniyim, why isn't he not sustaining them? And Amalei say, Kedei shenitzan anu bahem, it didn't show him. Tell them this is because Rabbi is saying, it says that this is what you should tell them. This is in order to save us from the punishment of Gehenna, and really these poor people are tzaddikim, and they're doing it for our benefit, that we should be saved from the punishment of Gehenna. And this is the very shaila that Tunusrufus Harasha had asked Rabbi Akiva, if there's a love of the aniyim, why is he not sustaining them? Rabbi Akiva answered him, that we should be saved from the judgment of Gehenna to being Mekayim, the mitzvah of tzedakah. Amalei, Tunusrufus Harasha said back to Rabbi Akiva, just the opposite. By giving them tzedakah is a reason that you should be chayiv in Gehenna. I'll give you a mashal to what it's compared to. The melech basra adam shekos al abdei, the melech basra adam that got angry on his servant, and he placed him in jail. And he commanded everybody not to feed him or to give him to drink. And one person went, fed him and gave him to drink. When the king hears this, will he not get angry on him? And you are called avodim. Shenever, like it says, to be the bnei Yisrael avodim. So by giving tzedakah, we are being mavatal the gezerah of Hashem, and we should faket. We should be chayv in Gehenim, not be zoicha and safe in Gehenim. Rabbi Akiva says that the mashal is a little different. To what is it similar to? That he got angry on his son and put him in prison. And he commanded not to feed him or to give him to drink. And another person went and gave him to eat and fed him and then gave him to drink. When the king heard it, is he not going to send him a present for saving his child? Like this, he could have been left there to die. And us, we're called children, not badim. That even when the Yidden are chavushim, the Beis HaYisurim, we are considered as Hashem's children, even when we're closed in prison. Amalei to Nasruf, as Harash said to Rabbi Akiva, Atem kruyim banim, you are called banim, and kruyim avadim. And there's another passage where it says that you're called avadim. In the time when you're doing the will of Hashem, Atem kruyim banim, you're called banim. But Zman, he's learning I love this to Nusuf Sarasha. Zman, in a time when you're not doing the will of Hashem, Kurim Avadim, you're called Avadim. Right now, you're finished not doing the will of Hashem because you are engulfed between the umays. Therefore, you're not worthy of Dadim are not worthy of tzedakah being given to them, and you're being over against Hashem. Amalei, so Akiva said to the Resufis, Harei, to the Resufis Harasha, Harei Uena. It says in Yeshaya, Alei Paris Laroi Vachbacha. It's Danish, that you should spread out, disperse to bread to those that are hungry. Aniyim Merudim, and the screaming of Aniyim, which refers to the government, Tavi Bayis, they will come to your house to collect taxes. A must, I need the Merudim Tavi Bayis. When will these Ani Merudim, the government, come and demand taxes for you? Hayidna. Today, when we are Meshubadim, we are untingetenig under the Goyishim Alocha. Nevertheless, the Pasuk nevertheless says that we should disperse bread to the poor. Obviously, this follows the Shita of Rabbi Yehuda, who says that even in these times, we're always called banim. We're always called banim. That's what he wanted to bring out. That the halacha is like from this pasuk, like Rabbi Yehuda. Does Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shalom? Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shalom dashed another drasha to shame Shem Zeina Shaladam, Sublay Mershashana Kaches Zeina Shaladam, Sublay Mershashana. Just like the parnasa of the year is set from Rosh Hashanah, so too the losses are set from Rosh Hashanah. Zak Yimara Zacha Halei Paras Larev Zacha. Yeah, I'm sorry. Zacha, if he was Zech the Mazel Tov, that the Chesed that was decreed upon him, so it will go Halei Paras Larev Lachmecha. He will be able to be Mekayim Mitzvah Tzedakah by dispersing this money that was supposed to be given. Was supposed to be a loss for him, but it was given to tzedakah, like zacha. But if he didn't, it wasn't zeicha. So, ani merudim tav bayis. Ani merudim meaning the government will come and force that money out of him. That will be his loss through the government, not through tzedakah. So, you want to say, just like Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, like the nephews of Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, chazlu bechilma balamasa sheva meyadinrei. Rabbi Yochanan had a dream, and he saw that his nephews were supposed to lose 700 dinarim during the coming year. And this was when he had the Chalom B'Tzai Yom Kippurim. And it was a nigzah that his nephews will lose that year 700 dinarim. Sinhu. So Rabbi Yochanan convinced them to give tzedakah from their money. Shak b'nayu l'tzedakah. and he took from them money for tzedakah. Push gabayu shivsa dinar. But by them was left over at the end of the year out of the 717 dinar. When Erev Yom Kippur came, the next Erev Yom Kippur, Shadu the Beikesa. The Beikesa, the Melucha, the Roman Empire sent shluchim to collect money by the nephews, Naktinu, and they grabbed from him the money. And when Rabbi Yochanan saw that the shluchim came and they were terrified, don't be afraid that you're going to lose more. It was only 17 dinarim that was left in your hands that was shaloi karei, you weren't supposed to have. That was taken from you. There's no other reason to be worried anymore. How do you know that they took away 17? I have seen this in a dream that 700 dinarim are going to be taken away from you. So they said to him, the nephew said to him, Man, why didn't you tell us? The nesvina that we should give. So we would have given even these 17. He said, because I said in my heart, in order that you should perform the mitzvah lishma. It is that he dreamt, Yom Kippur, we're talking about Rosh Hashanah, so we say Rosh Hashanah, Taka Tzadikim, and Yeshoim, Taka Dan, it's clear. For Beidanim, it could extend till Yom Kippur. So that's why the dream happened on Yom Kippur. It says, Papa Havasoli, Bidager was climbing up on a ladder, each mitkari. His foot slipped off one of the steps. On Kamat, he fell. My Papa said, if I would have fell and died, the one that hates us, what does it mean, hates us? Our Papa was talking about himself, like a person who wants to curse, he says the curse on others, but he means himself. And I would have been chayiv skila to mechalei Shabbos like one who was mechal Shabbos, so serves idols. So he didn't understand why was he deserving of such a punishment. Maybe Ani had came to you and you were mefanasim. And the Mashar writes, maybe it's referring to the Papa that we learned yesterday. It's Adames that the Papa averted his eyes from giving tzedakah to this ani that was collecting from door to door. And Avsama told him off. You should have given him something, because like this, you're discrediting him for all the people from giving him when he's going to the door to door. They're going to say, you didn't give, so we're not going to give. So, and Avsama told him, you have to give him something. So the Papa told him, but it's a braisa that says that somebody who's collecting from door to door, you don't have to give him for the kum tzedakah. He said, yeah, you don't have to give him the full portion, but you should give him a little bit, not to show that he's a real ani, not to discredit him totally. So maybe it's referring to this story that he slipped. Whoever averts his eyes from tzedakah, it's like he's serving idol. It's written over here by somebody who's misaref, who deters or averts from giving tzedakah to aniyim. So it says, "Hisham lecha penya dava im levavcha bliyal." The reason why, so somebody who's misaref to give to lend money. Somebody who's misaref to lend money to aniyim because Shnas HaShmita is coming about and it'll be taken away. So that's why he doesn't want to give. So the pasuk says, "Hisham lecha penya dava im levavcha bliyal." You should still lend it. But it uses the word bliyal. And thereby the people that persuaded the whole city to serve Avodah Zarah, in which the whole city gets killed by Cherev and the Nechasim are burned. So it's talking about bliyal, the people who convinced the people of the city. Malahalam, what did they convince? The bliyal is referring to Avodah Zarah by Yer and Adachas. Malahalam, Avodah Zarah. Just like over there it's referring to Avodah Zarah. So too here it's referring to idol worship. Tanya, we learned in the Baraisa. Another mile in giving tzedakah, Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yossi said, "Cold tzedakah v'chasher yisrael mazeh Shalom Gadol Fraklitin Gedolim Ben Yisrael Avin Shavashmayim. All the tzedakah, all the actions of tzedakah and kindness that the Yidden do in this world, they create a tremendous peace and protection of Malachi Malitza Yesha. Malachim that will protect us between us and Avim Shavashamayim. Never like it says in the Pasuk, Koyama Hashem. So says Hashem, Al Tovei Beis Marzeyach. Do not go to the houses of a Beis Abel. And don't go to eulogies. And also bemoaning also of sadness. So because the Eibishter says, I have gathered the here he says, and he gathered the shalom from this nation, and the kindness and the rachmim from this nation that the Eibishter gives them midah connected midah. So Rabbi Yossi explains the chesed, the kindness that he's referring to is that the chesed that the Yidden do, rachmim is what tzedakah that the Yidden do. When the Yidden are going to chesed and do tzedakahs, HaKadosh Baruch Hu shows them chesed rachmim in return. And the Navi is saying, since the Yidden didn't do tzedakah chesed, so Hashem took from them the peace. So we learn from here, but when the Yidden do tzedakah chesed, the Eibishter restores the peace, or gives them the peace. Greater tzedakah that it brings the Yula closer. Never like it says in the Pasuk. Koyam Hashem. So says Hashem, Shimon Mishpat, guide my laws, I say tzedakah, and give tzedakah. Ki, if you do so, Kredi Yeshua Salasi, my salvation is close coming. It's Itkasi Ligalis, and my righteousness, or my tzedakah will be revealed. Ligalis, that the Eibishter will be revealed. That's going on last and lovely. That there will be a revelation of Hashem, of Hashem's acts of tzedakah, which now are covered up and concealed. Rabbi Yehuda would say, there are 10 hard things that were created in the world. Hard kosher, a mountain which is hard, basra mechatli. The iron cuts it. Basra kosher, the iron is hard. Ur me'afafei, the fire melts it. Ur kasha, fire is strong. Mayim echavnoi, say the water extinguishes it. Mayim kasha, the water is strong. Avim seivlim, the clouds carry it, are able to be sailaced on the waters. Avim kasha, the clouds are strong. Ruach mefazarta, the wind can blow them away. Ruach kasha, the winds are strong. Guf seivlei, a guf which is also malei ruach, could be sailed the winds. Guf kasha, a guf is hard. Aval pachat shevei, fear breaks it. Pachat kasha, fear is strong, but yain mafigay, the wine weakens the fear. Yain kasha, yain is strong. Aval shina, it's mevatel the hashpa of the wine, the effect of wine. Umisa kasha mikula, and misa is the strongest of them all. And he says even shina is also a reishim of death, because it's 1/60th of death, but it's not as strong as a regular misa, physical misa. Rabbi Yehuda doesn't count it as 11 hard things, because misa includes shina. Anyway, so he says, tzedakah tatzma mavis. I'm sorry, misa kashmi kulam. Tzedakah matzals min misa, but tzedakah nevertheless, the schus of tzedakah saves misa. The chesed tzedakah tatzma mavis. Like it says, tzedakah saves from death. Rabbi Yanai said, the midah of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not like a regular person. Midah basra dam. By a basra dam, adam heavy done gadol melech. A person brings a big present to a melech basra dam. Some mekavanah yisrael, some mekavanah yisrael. It's a suffix, but the avodim, the servants will accept this present or not. I'm even going to say that the servants will accept it. Suffix, Rei Bnei Amelech, it's a suffix. if he will be able to see the face of the king to speak with him. So he might not see the face of the king. But HaKadosh Baruch is not so. A person gives a prut l'ani, he merits to see the face of the Shekhinah. Like it says, Ani b'tzedek, as a v'nacha, in righteousness I see your face. It's a joke that they say, Ani b'tzedek, that I give tzedakah, I in righteousness see your face. B'tzedek means bitzu dekashnas, till you give money. But here it means the tzedakah, actual tzedakah. Ani b'tzedek, as a v'nacha, through tzedakah I will see your face. As though I will be filled, the hakits, awakened Tmunasecha with the form of Hashem. Rabbi Elazar would give a pruta to the Ani before davening. Immediately after he would daven. He said, because it says in Tehillim, Ani b'tzedek first I give tzedakah, and then I see your face in tefillah. Just yesterday's Ayom, the story with the Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek was on his way to shul, and he saw Rav Matcha, one of his chassidim. It was the day of the market, and he needed 5 cupcakes or 6 cupcakes. So the Tzemach Tzedek told him, after davening, come to me. And then while the Tzemach Tzedek was walking to shul, he decided, what am I doing? And he quoted this Gemara of Rabbi Elazar. He gave the money before davening. He ran home, he got money, and he looked for Rav Matcha in the market and found him, and he gave him the money. So the Rebbe explains what's the simple pasha, the simple tam. Because the ikar tefillah is that a person asks for his needs, but before a person can stand up and ask for his needs, he first gives the ani, and then he comes to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he says, just like I gave the ani, so too Hashem should be mezakeh, mida keneged mida. A tam pnimi for it is that to be mevatel the kitrugim, that when somebody's davening, he wants to go into the Heichal HaMelech, when he's davening to connect with Hashem, so when you give it tzedakah, it's mevatel those kitrugim that are holding you back from entering to the Heichal HaMelech, to davening. That's the meaning of giving tzedakah before davening. So, in fact, what does it mean that you'll be filled, awake, with the form of Hashem? These are the Talmidei Chacham, that they remove sleep from their eyes in this world, in order to learn Torah without a hefsek. And the Eibishter fills them with the shine of the Shekhinah in the world to come. What is the kavanah of the pasuk? Malvei Hashem chinen dal. That one is a malva of the Eibishter when he gives the poor money. Says the Gemara, this lashon is ilimali mikakasav. If not for the pasuk explicitly writing this, it would be impossible to say, because it's mashma that one who gives the poor, he becomes a malva to the Eibishter, kavayochel, and it comes out that we know the saying, Eved Leiva Lishmalva, that since the one that gave tzedakah became a malva HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's like Hashem, is mishubed to him like Eved. And that's a thing that it's impossible to say unless it was written. In the name of Rabbi Yechden, it's written in one pasuk in Mishlei, Lo yoyol hain b'yoyim Efra b'yoyim Evra. It says, wealth will not help on the day of anger. Tzedakah and tzedakah will save you from that. Uksiv, it's written Lo yoyelu Isis Russia, and it won't help the treasures of the Rishayim. But tzedakah will save you from death. Shtei tzedakahs halalu. These two tzedakahs that are mentioned in both psukim. Lama, why is there a need for both? And for the one achas, one is shematzilas mishuna, that it saves you from an unnatural death, and one is shetzedakah matzilas midin shoganim, and one is to save you from the judgment of Gehenna. Which pasuk is referring to tzedakah that saves you from the punishment of Gehenna? So he says, that's the pasuk that's written by Yom Evra, in the day of anger, which is the Yom Adin. That it's written in another place when it gave to Yom Adin. Yom Evra, HaYom Ahu, the day of anger, that day. So that day is referring to the day of Yom Kippur. Which is the tzedakah that saves you from an unnatural death. That's referring to somebody who gives, he doesn't know to whom he's giving, and the receiver doesn't know from whom he's receiving. That's the madrega of tzedakah that saves you from the judgment of Gehenna. He gives and he doesn't know to whom he's giving. Excluding from the story of Mar Ukva, that he would every day place packages of food, or 4 zuzim, it says, in the hole of a hinge of a house of an ani, that when the ani would enter, he wouldn't even know who he got it from. But Mar Ukva knew who he gave it to. What's Neitla? The receiver is taking, but he doesn't know from whom he's taking. Who came to the Rabbi Abba would go between the Aniyim. He wouldn't know who was taking him, sorry. He would go between the Aniyim. And the money was bundled up, and he placed the bag of money in back of him, and they would take the money from the bag. Rabbi Abba didn't know to who he's giving the tzedakah to. But the Aniyim knew from whom they're receiving from. So it's both were high levels. Mar Ukva was on a very high level because the Ani didn't know who he's receiving from. And Sai Rabbi Abba didn't know who was taking from him. But nevertheless, that's not the highest level. The highest level is not knowing either way. The person should know the giver should know who he's giving to, and the receiver should know who he's receiving from. How could one reach such a level? He should put it in a pushka for the pushka of the tzedakah of the ear, in such a way the nice and the makabel don't know who they don't know who gave it and the one who's receiving. Nobody knows who's receiving it. The giver doesn't know. What should a person do in order that he should have male children? He should spread money for the aniyim. And he brings down that's being a mashpia by giving money, and you're arousing the aniyim, so it's like arousing the wife. And it says he should speak words, happy words that arouse her before the mitzvah. Rabbi Yaakov said, a person shouldn't give pruta to a pushka elim came in Allah, only if there was somebody as trustworthy, like Rabbi Hananya Betradin, that he has to be as trustworthy as him, or tzaddik. But he doesn't have to be a tzaddik like him, says Taisus, but a trustworthy person like him. So I think so it's mashman the Braisa. Not every gabik tzedakah are as trustworthy. So why does he want to say a blanket statement that a person should reach the highest level of tzedakah, and that the highest level is only through giving the kubit tzedakah? But not every kubit tzedakah is shaykh to do. I mean, you can't give every kubit tzedakah unless it's trustworthy as Rabbi Hananya ben Trajan. And for the Gemara keep coming when we said that you should reach the highest level of tzedakah, and the highest level is only through giving such a kuppah, only giving it to a pushka, is the mimani Allah, providing that with the condition that you have a memuna Rabbi Hananya ben Trajan, a person like Rabbi Hananya ben Trajan is trustworthy, watching over the pushka. If not, taki, you don't have, then it's not the best. Then you shouldn't be giving it to such a pushka. Rabbi Avo said that Moshe said before Hashem, what are the meisim that the Yidden on the level of Kenan can be even elevated to a higher level? Amalei, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, it says, Hashem said to Moshe to collect the machzah shekel from every Yid, and that's how you'll elevate them to a higher level. Rabbi Avo Sholo Eshlim ben David, the Eshlim HaMelech ben David ad heichen shel tzedakah. To what extent is the power of tzedakah? Go out and see what David, my father, had explained, but they gave to the schar of tzedakah, peas and nothing of yainim, dispersed, and he spread out to give to the poor. The righteousness stays forever. Karnoi, Todum, and the Baal tzedakah is also his ken is raised the kavi with honor, meaning that he'll be blessed with honor forever, or it's called eternal eternal honor. Rabbi Abba says from here, it says, "Hu mereimim yishkein," he shall dwell on high. So it says, "Mitzad is slayim." Mitzad is the rock. Mitzad is slayim. Mitzad is like fortresses of rock. So the Mizgabe shall be his stronghold. Lachmai nitan name of namanim, and the bread he gives for the poor, and the water also for those that are in need. What's the reason that they will live on high in the tzadis, in fortresses, slayim of rocks? Mizgabai, it will be his stronghold, because he's going to give bread to the adim, and he's going to give water to those that are nitzachim. So that's the schar, that's the reward, because of the tzedakah that he gave, that he's going to live in these high places, fortresses. That said, who is the Ben Olam Haba that gets everlasting reward? Those that are given covered in this world because of the wisdom in the elderly days, and not because of the wealth. Meaning they learned, and now in the elderly days they're wise. Like the Rabbi Yosef, the son of Rabbi Yeshua, fell ill. Indeed, he became so ill that he was in a coma, and his neshama went up l'mayla. His father, Rabbi Yeshua, said, "My cousin, what did you see there, l'mayla?" He says, "Oh, the light." Rabbi Yosef said to his father, "I saw an opposite world, the upside down world. Those that are elevated in this world with respect because of their wealth, they're the lamata, they're all the way down. The tachtonim and the aniyim that are between us, they're considered, those are the ones l'mayla, they're standing with all kinds of kavod." He says, Olam Haba, that's the real world, and there's no chshivas for gashmis, no importance for gashmis, and therefore the hashirim are not on the top. Banan, what about, so Rabbi Yeshua asked him, and what about us? How are we looked upon in Olam Haba? Rabbi Yosef said to his father, the same importance that we have here, that's the importance we have there. Just like we are respected over here for our wisdom, so too there. The chshivas hachatz, so you see, the chshivas hachatz is nitzchis, is everlasting. So from here's Araya to the words of Rabbi Abo, one who is respected because of his wisdom in this world, he will be respected in the world to come. It's everlasting respect. And I also heard vile praise is the one that comes up Lamaila with the Talmud in his hand. And I heard over that they would say that those that were Harugei Malchus will not be able to stand, nobody will be able to stand in the Mechitza. Maninu, who are they? So Rabbi Akiva, Vachavidu is referring to Rabbi Akiva and his friends, because they were killed for Kiddush Hashem. That's why they lived up to such a lofty level of Sulay and no more Pshita. Even without this, without this chus of dying on Kiddush Hashem, they reached to such a high level in Olam Haba, more than other people. They were tzaddikim gemurim. Ella, we have to say Harugei Lud. Haruyulud was that the Roman Empire took over Eretz Yisrael, and the emperor's daughter was murdered, and they accused the Yidden, and they said that they're going to annihilate all the Yidden. So two of the Yidden gave themselves up to say that they were the ones that killed them, even though they didn't. Lilanus and Papus, they stepped forward and falsely confessed that they killed the daughter of the emperor, and they saved the Klal Yisrael. Zog Yimaratani, we learned in Rabbi Yochanan said to his children, "What in my children? What is this that it says in the pasuk? Tzedakah elevates the nation, the chesed and the kindness of the nations. Chatos is a chatos." So the two questions: why is kindness considered as a sin? And also, what's the difference between goy, nation, and le'uvim, nations? Rabbi Elazar tzedakah to him and goy. Tzedakah elevates the goy. Yisrael is going on the Yidden. That's why it says goy b'lashon yachid. The chesiv. Where do we see that? Be counting Yisrael goy yach b'aretz. Am Yisrael are elevated with chus tzedakah that they have given. Ches lumen chatos. And there it says also we counting Yisrael goy echad. So goy is, and there it's referring to Yidden. Yisrael and goy. Ches lumen chatos, and the kindness of the goyim is a sin. Kol tzedakah v'chashum v'chayim all the tzedakah v'chas that the goyim do, kindness and charity they do. Chet v'lehem is a sin. Sheina isna l'lis galabay. They only do it to become greater, to have a longer life in that merit. Like it says, Benegay to the Yavish, the daughter, the son of Asda Malka, the Yavish Hashem Melech Paras, when he commanded his servants to help in the building of the Beis Hamikdash. It's kedai that you should be makir kabanes, that should be nechaychim, pleasant to lelakei shamayim, shabla lekashamaya, umitzalin lechayim malko v'nai, and daven for the life of the king and his children. So the tzedakah that the goyim did was not l'shem shamayim. It's only for the benefit, their own benefit, that they should live longer lives, and that's why it's considered as a sin. Somebody who does so for this purpose, is he considered a sin? Is it then not considered as a full tzedakah? We learned in the Braisa. One who says, "Selah, I'm going to give a selah that's worth 4 dinarim in the honor of this mitzvah my son shall live, or in this merit of tzedakah I should merit to the world to come." He's considered as a tzaddik gomer for this action and this mashava. So you see from this baraisa, giving tzedakah even for chayav is not considered a chet. So you want to like kasha, it's not a kasha. Kamer Yisrael. Here it's talking about a yid who gives tzedakah. He's giving wholeheartedly to fulfill the will of Hashem. Such a person, even he adds, please, that his son should live, but that's not the makara. Even if it doesn't happen, he had in mind to give a tzedakah gemur, but here by Rabbi Elazar is by kechavim. He's only giving it for his own self glorification, and if it doesn't happen, then it's a chazakah that he will regret on giving. So it's not considered as a tzedakah; rather, it's considered as a sin. Then Rabbi Yeshua gave a different piddush, and to answer the psukim, tzedakah treimem goy. By Yisrael, that goes on the Yid. Chesiv mikam Yisrael go yachad. V'ches lo mechatas. And this that it says v'ches lo mechatas, it's called tzedakah v'ches shumas hayis gecham ma'isen. All it's the charity and kindness that the goyim do. Chet hulahan. It's a sin for them. Sheina is now l'kedei timasha ma'chusa. They're only doing it in order in the schus of their kindness and tzedakah that the melucha should have longevity. Should never, like it says, that if the Daniel gave advice to Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babel, about his cholem, that it was decreed, a harsh decree on the Melech. So Daniel gave him eitzah. Hey, Malka, Malki, Yishbaralach. Let to the king my words be advice for you. Accept my advice. And your sin with tzedakah will be taken out. I mean, your sin will be taken away for a little while. v'michon anyon, and your sins will, by giving Dani money, hein teva archel shalvasach, will, by doing the kindness to the aniyim, to the poor, your tranquility will last a little longer. It lasted for 12 months. So there you know that tzedakah v'chesed was only to save him from the punishment of Hashem, or to lengthen, or the other stories in order to lengthen the melucha. Another answer on the kasha why kindness is considered as a sin, and why it says goy and la'umim, the nation and nations. By nation it's not a sin, and by nation it's a sin. Tzedakah elevates goy. El Yisrael goes on the Yidden. Like we said before, chesed and chatas goes on the goyim. All the kindness and charity that they do is a chet. They only do it to brag. Whoever is Messiah, whoever is Balgaiva and glorifies himself, is deserving of Gehenna. Okay. Good. Sagt die Mother, say, Shnema, say, your late Shmai, but it says, a proud and a Balgaiva, and a letz is a scoffer, that's his name. He performs in angry pride, meaning ever is a connection to Yahir. So you see, it's connected. The Yahir's V'gaiva is connected to Evra, which ain't Evra el Gehinnom. Evra is Gehenna. Shenema, like it says on the Yom Adin in Svanya, Yom Evra Yom Ahu. That day, the Yishaim will be punished in Gehenna. So we find that the Ma'aseh Tzedakah Chesed they're going to do, that they fulfill the mitzvahs only in order for self-glorification, are considered as sin, and they will in the future be punished with the punishment of Gehenna. We still need an additional piddish of Rabbi Elazar Hamadai. Rabbi Elazar Hamadai Tzedakah elevates the nation that's going on Yisrael. And the kindness that the nations do is a sin. All the charity and the kindness that the goyim do, is a sin to them. For they don't do these kindness and charity by only to tell us off. And so we learn this from the words of Nebuzaradan that he said to Yirmiyahu, when the Yidden words exiled to Babel, and he came and Hashem did like he has spoken, for you have sinned to Hashem, and you didn't listen to his voice, and therefore that's why this came upon you. So the Chacham are giving these tzedakah v'chesed, it's a very low level of, not only it's a terrible thing that they're doing, they're using it as an excuse to tell off the Yidden and to break them and to tell them how because of their sin, and we, look, if you would be like, we don't sin, we're giving tzedakah, and you are sinners, and that's why you're deserving of this gullus. Rabbi Nechunya gave a different tzedakah. Tzedakah elevates the. So he learns the pasuk tzedakah treimim goy v'chesed, and it doesn't go lo'um and chatas. It all goes on the Yisrael, meaning side the charity, side the kindness is said al Yisrael. It's said on the Yidden. Even the word v'chesed is connected to the first part of the pasuk together with the word tzedakah, which is the Yisrael. Lo'um chatas, lo'um zeis. By goyim it's only chatas. Rabbi Yochanan said to his Talmidim, Nidim, it's most reasonable to me, the words of Rabbi Nechunya's Pirush, how he answered the kashas, his is the most reasonable from everyone. Because the nice and tzedakah chesed is connected to the word yisol. The chavim is only chatas, has only the word chatas connected to it. The pashtas, according to Abchim ben Akana, chatas alumim is that they don't give tzedakah. They don't give tzedakah. So the Gemara, from this that Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai said, "Midvaray u'midveichem eklal," is mashman the Hu Nami Amar. He also said a pirish for that pasuk. So what was Taka? The Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai's pirish. Tanya that we learned in Rabbi Samuel Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai said to this Talmidim, "Sheshem shachatis mechaperes al yisol kach tzedakah mechaperes alum zayla." Just like the word chatos, which is said in this pasuk, you don't explain it b'lashon chet, el b'lashon karban chatas. So you find that the ma'aseh, the actions of charity and chesed that Shalom do, forgives on them like a karban chatas. So according to Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, even the beginning of the pasuk tzedakah treinem goy is connected to the Shalom. And the kavanah is that the tzedakah elevates even the Shalom, and the action of the kindness and tzedakah that the Shalom do is considered as a karban chatas, and it forgives on them.